Hello all, welcome to my third episode of Crack the Interview series. In our earlier two episodes, we covered polymorphism and then virtual method, abstract class and interface. If you want to see those, please go back and access those videos in my channel. Also, please subscribe and share so that it will encourage me to do something more. Today, I am going to talk about coupling and dependency injection. Dependency injection or DI is a software pattern. And before you know this, you need to have clear idea about coupling. In next few slides, I am going to share all this with some coding example. This will definitely help you in your coding world. Happy learning. Coupling means dependency among components. A typical example of coupling is when one object is used by another object. Coupling can be of two types, tight coupling and loose coupling. Tight coupling means when this object integration is highly dependent on each other, so much integrated that it will be difficult to change. If you try to change one, you need to modify the code of other modules too. That's the reason this will come up with higher cost of maintenance. And for all these reasons, it's not reusable too. Here in this employee salary class, you can see I am creating two objects from calculate fixed salary and calculate variable salary class directly, which is being used under method get employee salary. So that means all these things are very tightly coupled. To get the get employee salary, you need to pass both the class methods. So as a whole, we can see employee salary class is highly dependent on calculate fixed salary and calculate variable salary. This is the example of tight coupling, wherein in loosely coupled system the dependency is less, and that's why it's easy to develop. You don't need to focus on each and everything. You can just go ahead with the specific changes. That's why it's easy to maintain and it needs less cost to maintain. And of course, easy to test too. Dependency injection or DI is a software pattern that makes a class independent of its dependencies. Which means this is the way you can approach to build a loosely coupled system. You can do this broadly through three ways. One, through constructor injection, where you will be injecting dependent class object through the constructor. Second is through setter or property injection, where you will be injecting dependent class object through the property of that class. And third one is through the method injection, where you will be injecting dependent class object through the method. In this example, I am going to show you constructor dependency injection in C#. Here you can see there is one interface I have created called iSalary, which is having one method like getSalary. This interface will help me to make my code loosely coupled. How? Here it is. You can see here there are two classes that I have created. One calculate fixed salary, other one is calculate variable salary. Both I am deriving from the iSalary interface, and both going to override or implement getSalary method over here, which is present in my interface. Now here you can see my employee salary class. Here you can see there is employee salary constructor, and through this constructor I am passing iSalary interface type, right? And why I am doing this? Because runtime I can pass the object of this iSalary type, and during runtime it can create that object and allocate that method accordingly. Here you can see how it is going to happen. Here in this main method you can see I am creating the object of calculate fixed salary, which is the type of iSalary, and passing same through this constructor of employee salary. Then I'm going to call get employee salary, and this get employee salary is going to now call the get salary method from calculate fixed salary, and that's why it will be print fixed salary, because I am passing the object of calculate fixed salary, which is type of I salary, through the constructor of employee salary. Similarly, the other class calculate variable salary also having one object that I have declared here, or I am instantiating here, type of I salary, object variable salary. And when I am passing this object variable salary through this constructor, it will follow the same process, but as this is the object from the calculate variable salary, it's going to print from get salary method underneath it, which will be print variable salary. So as a whole, you can see here that employee salary class is not dependent on any class anymore. So depending on the passing parameter through its constructor, it is going to create the object and allocate that method accordingly. It's highly loosely coupled system at this moment now. Now let's see how we can do this through setter DI or property dependency injection. So we'll start with the same thing, that we are having I salary interface, and we are having both classes like calculate fixed salary and calculate variable salary, both of which are deriving from I salary interface and going to implement get salary method. So till now we are good, right? It's just like that earlier example. The change you can observe under this employee salary class, earlier inside this employee salary class we had constructor, and through that constructor we are passing the interface type of this object. But here you can see the change. Here we are declaring the property of I salary interface inside this employee salary class, and that's all. So, and how we are going to use this inside this main, you can see now we are just creating this employee salary class object, and through that object, and if we can put dot, you can able to access the property of this employee salary class. Here is that isal obj, that is the property or type of isalary interface. There you can see we are instantiating the type of classes that we need to pass. That means if we want to create calculate fixed salary object, you just go and create new calculate fixed salary. It will going to assign that object in runtime through this main method, and ultimately is going to print the things from calculate fixed salary. And similarly, you can go ahead and assign a new object from this calculate variable salary to print the things from calculate variable salary. So here also you can see that inside employee salary, we are not going to create any class object directly. We are going to create those things in runtime through the main method. So here also our employee salary class is highly loose coupled. So here is my last example for today for dependency injection, and that I am going to show you through method DI, method dependency injection. So if you remember that we are having isalary interface, which is having a get salary method that we are going to implement through my two classes like calculate fixed salary and calculate variable salary, which are getting derived from isalary interface. So far it is same like the above examples. Now the changes you can observe under this employee salary. So the method DI is almost similar like constructor DI. Only changes here that in constructor DI we had a constructor. Through that constructor we are passing that I salary type object. Here instead of constructor we will be having this get employee salary method, and we will be passing this I salary type of object as a parameter through this method. So as simple as that. Now if we'll go to this main method, if you can see that we are having employee salary object we are creating here and accessing this get employee salaries through this object, which is expecting the parameter of iSalary type. Now my calculate fixed salary and calculate variable salary, as both of these classes actually the type of iSalary interface type, so you can create any of this class object and pass those things as a parameter. And so you can have as much as class that getting derived from this iSalary interface. You can create object for those things and pass these things to use the same. So there is no dependency on this employee class, employee salary class. So this is the magic of method DI. So friends, this is all about the dependency injection and how you can implement this through various approaches like constructor injection, setter injections or method injection. I hope post this session you will be better placed to design one loosely coupled system through any of these approaches. Happy learning, and please do subscribe, share and provide your feedback, like and comments. Thank you. Thanks for your time.